I do feel like I'm leading the charge. Conor led the charge last time in the UFC, and I'm just going to do that this time. I'm just going to take the fucking take the brunt force and run straight through it. I'll lead. Everyone can follow me if they want it. That's okay. I'll knock down the walls. You come through.
Absolute pleasure now to welcome on, making his UFC debut, Talk of the Town, Talk of the UFC this week in Madison Square Garden. Could you ask for a better place to make your UFC debut? It is the returning guest, as always, a pleasure to speak to him, Garry, and it's a huge week for Irish MMA, and I think it tops it off on Saturday night in MSG with Ian throwing down against Jordan Williams. Ian, first of all, I want to say to you, I didn't realise until I listened to the interview yesterday that your grandfather passed away. So my sincerest condolences for that, my friend. How's everything with you in New York?
Good, man. I'm really, really good. Thank you for saying that about my granddad. It's been hard because I haven't been at home, but I'm happy because he's in a better place, and hopefully he's back to himself and he remembers everyone and everything. So, dude, I'm great. I'm in New York. I'm enjoying life. I'm living the life as a UFC fighter on fight week. I'm having the best time. I'm loving every single second of it, and it's just a dream come true to be here.
It is. Like I just said to you there, it's sort of surreal off air. I was there, when Conor fought Eddie Alvarez at UFC 205 in Press Row. What a place. Have you been around to the arena yet? Have you still standing out?
No, I haven't. I've been in and around the hotel. I've been just walking and just enjoying. We went to Times Square. I'm going to Central Park now at 12 o'clock, so I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it all. It's just I'm embracing New York for what it is, and I don't want to go to the arena. I want to go to the arena when I have to be there, and that's fight night.
It's the stuff dreams are made of, Ian. Are you sort of pinching yourself? I know you're big into your manifestation, but are you sort of just going, holy shit, like this is happening? The UFC are putting me on Madison Square Garden for my debut. It's unbelievable, man. It really is. To get the promotion you've got all week from the UFC as well, the YouTube segments that are coming out. Fighters who generally make their debut do not get that sort of push.
No. Pete said it the other day. I'm getting the red carpet rolled out, and it really does feel like it. But I feel like that's the right way to do it. I mean, I've got the hype. I've got the skill set. The UFC can see it. They believe it. They're like, right, let's give this kid the fucking push. Let's give him the stage. I mean, for me as a fighter and as someone who wants to prove himself to the UFC and to the fighting world, this is the biggest stage I could be on and prove to everyone how good I am. And what I'm doing is just going in there and having fun. So I'm literally just going to go in there and soak up every single second I can, enjoy it, and prove to people why I'm the best fighter, why I'm the most hyped fighter in Europe and in the world.
How has the move been to Florida? Obviously, I know you don't want to talk about what happened with Team KF and stuff like that, but do you feel as though, regardless of what happened, Ian, going there and getting a fresh set of eyes has benefited you tenfold anyway?
Yes, 100%. There's no doubt about that. I've only been there for a little over 11 weeks, and I've learned so much. There's been so many little details that have changed, and it's those small details that can make someone who was great to be world class. It's those little details that can take someone who's good to being amazing. It's just little tweaks on little things that are inevitably, no matter what, there's no way they can't help my career. There's no way they can't help my skills. So I'm excited to go back and to kind of dive into the rabbit hole with the team more so and work on a lot of skills and improve a lot, because there's a lot we've already talked about that I'd like to add into my game and that they'd like to see me have in regards to me and Coach Greg Jones working on wrestling and really drilling in that. I know he's like, we can make a wrestler out of you. I was like, we're gonna, don't you worry, we're gonna. And then me and Henry was like, we've already talked about some specific tools you'd like to add to my arsenal so I can utilize them at any time. So they've been amazing to me, and I'm just super excited for everything they have to offer and everything that I have to offer back to them in regards to us being here in regards to us traveling the world and having a good time as a team, because that's what I enjoy. It's memories. Like last night, I'm sitting in a room with Greg Jones, Henry Huff, Jason Strout, Daniel Bev, and Vicente Luque, and we're all just talking about martial arts. It's fucking insane.
Vicente's a reserve for the title fight this weekend, isn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, wow. I have to ask you, like, is it a permanent move? Are you like, have you bought a house there? Are you relocating there? What's the situation in terms of that?
I haven't bought a house, but yes, we are relocating. That is the plan. We will take it whatever way it comes. We're going to come home for Christmas, enjoy the holidays, and then head straight back out to Florida.
Has it been
Florida?
Yeah, you should see it.
State.
Should see it here, mate. I'm bloody freezing here in my studio. It's like a bloody ice box. Holy God!
Oh, stop, dude! I am not looking forward to it at all, like whatsoever.
Listen to me. Cultural wise, has it been a bit of a shock? Have you enjoyed? You know, America's very, very different. Florida's very, very different to Ireland. How has that been? Has it been a bit of an adjustment?
You know what? We've moved around places because we've just been Airbnb and trying to figure out where we what places we want to stay in, and we found the place we like. We found where we want to stay, and it's nice. It's beautiful. It's really nice. It's like ideally, I'd like to stay on a golf course somewhere natural and nature and green and beautiful, and you can really feel that kind of humidity from the trees and just the oxygen is beautiful, as opposed to a city. But culturally, I mean, Florida's beautiful. I mean, my missus is half Brazilian, so there's a lot of Brazilian in Florida. So that's amazing. I want to start speaking Portuguese. I want to learn it. I want to go to Brazil. I want to enjoy it. So, I mean, it's beautiful. I really, really love it, and I'm looking forward to whatever is next on the journey.
What's been the situation in the gym? Like, I listened to Ariel's interview, she obviously yesterday, and you talked about Derek Brunson, Michael Chandler. Who've been the main sparring partners ahead of this? And I'd say you're winding up everyone in the gym, as Ariel said, because the Americans. Let's be honest, Ian. The Americans don't really get our sense of humour at times, don't they? Not they take it a little bit too seriously, don't they?
They don't, but there's a couple of lads there's a couple of English lads there. So we've got Tuco and Linton. They're two of the boys that they're both from London, and it's like
bit of good banter.
I've good banter with them. They kind of get it. But then in general, like there's been so many guys that have just helped me out. I mean, realistically, it's been Henry has taken me under his wing and just kind of gone, right, we could do this, this, and this. Greg has looked after me. It's been the coaches, the teammates are all there, and everyone helps everyone. And like after practice, like we'll talk to someone about, oh look, your kick, you could change this, and we all talk to each other on how we can benefit and grow from after that sparring session. But for me, it's mainly been the coaches, and that's been a great mix for me. Jason, Greg, and Henry have all really, really helped me, and they've just been absolutely amazing to me, and I really appreciate it because it's like they can see the talent and they know what's coming, and they're just excited as much as I am.
Ian, you mentioned the wrestling there, and obviously, you just mentioned the whole names there: Derek Brunson, Michael Chandler, all guys who are fantastic wrestlers. You said on Ariel's show as well that back here we don't have that sort of level. Can you compare and contrast the styles between and the strengths between European and US wrestling? Is it just totally different ball game? And obviously that's what you needed and what you want to implement into your game.
Sorry, that just cut out. Someone's trying to ring me. In regards to wrestling, European people are mainly strikers, right? And they've got good jiu-jitsu backgrounds because they're aware of, like, you're talking about, like, obviously we say Europe, it's like Dagestan and all that, and Russia. It's a different. We don't even look at them as wrestlers. They're just like, we don't. But they are some of the best wrestlers in the world, and it's only those little areas that do what they do, and they're fucking amazing at it. But in regards to American wrestling, growing up in high school and college and doing these and wrestling from a young age and having that elite level talent, the guys in the gym just have it. They've just been doing it for years. It's natural. All these quick movements where you see it in MMA, they're here and they get into the clinch, and it's just like this boom boom, and you're like, oh, yeah, all right, and like. For us like European, we want to get our backs to the cages because we give ourselves an advantage. We're not in the open. If we're out in the open, there's lifts, there's trips that we're not as comfortable. Whereas we get to the cage, it's a lot easier for us. And I just want to take advantage of every single opportunity I can to grow and evolve as a martial artist, and adapting a wrestling style from America would be amazing. Obviously, at some stage, I'd hope to learn from, like, there's a guy called, I don't know, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his second name.
Go on, do it.
He fights with Bellator. His name is Mohammed, and I think he's 15-0 now. And I was putting a lot of work in with wrestling with him, and he was teaching me, like, just simple things that are just effortless and beautiful, but, like, so aggressive at the same time, in a sense of, like, he'll grab a single leg lift, trip, but all of them are different to what your normal lifts and trip would be. They're just, the skill is undeniable. It's there. So, like, there's so much for me to work on and learn and grow, and I'm just excited for it.
Second nature to those boys, and obviously you want to sort of implement that into your style down the line. Obviously the talk is, you're the next Conor McGregor coming through now. That's what you've been billed as by the UFC. Has there been any contact? Has Conor reached out to you? Have you spoken to him?
He hasn't yet, but he is also a busy man. Do you know what I mean?
Very true.
If he does, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But I'm sure he will. I mean, he loves seeing Irish fighters do well, and I mean, he is the reason I'm going to be here. Do you know what I mean? In the sense of, like, his rise to stardom was what made me fall in love with MMA, and, like, I'm of the generation that is here because of his success, because of his rise. And I mean, when people say I'm the next Conor, I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I'll take it. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was the guy I looked up to as a kid. That's the guy whose footsteps I'd love to follow in.
Definitely,
I want to be a world champion. I want to be a 2-weight world champion in the UFC. That guy's done it. He's been there.
It's mad. I just put up the picture there that Ariel posted yesterday with you and Conor when you were 14, and I was at that card, covering that card as media. It's actually crazy to think that you're still that young and you've so much ahead of you. You're 23 years of age, and Conor went into the UFC when he was about roughly the same age, maybe a year or two older, but unbelievable stuff. 25, 26, yeah, he was about that age when he went in. But
26, yeah.
You have a few more years on him now, so I think that the division that you're in is absolutely stacked. But I feel like this, especially this weekend, it's been a mad week here as well. With obviously Bellator for a big show on tomorrow night, and then you top it off on Saturday and with Sinead Kavanagh next week. It feels like this is the second wave now. This is where we're going to see results because of the nature of the title bouts and your placement in the UFC and the promotion they've given. It's really exciting for me as a journalist who's covered the sport for 10 years. Yeah. Do you feel as though you're leading the new charge and the real sort of superstar going into that level of world titles?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I do, because the top level of the sport is the UFC, and that's where everyone wants to be. The best fighters in the world are in the UFC. And we've had Bellator shows on in Dublin. We've had all the lads do great. And I'm not shitting on anyone's parade or talking anything negative, but, like, there's been a change of this. The new wave is coming, and I'm just signed to the UFC. I'm the next big thing. Everyone's like, Irish MMA is back. We've got Joe McColgan and Paul Hughes who are holding Cage Warriors straps at the moment. You've got guys who are behind us, ready to come up and try to take our position and where we were in Cage Warriors. And we want to be the best. We want to be in the UFC, and I do feel like I'm leading the charge. Conor led the charge last time in the UFC, and I'm just going to do that this time. I'm just going to take the brunt force and run straight through it. I'll lead. Everyone can follow me if they want it. That's okay. I'll knock down the walls. You come through. You're
happy with the mantle and the pressure. Obviously, it's something you relish, I think, as well, isn't it, man? Yeah, you love this. You love it. You don't need to.
I do. Why wouldn't I?
You need to grow a mullet now. That's what you need, Ian. You need a mullet.
Fucking shit, Niall.
Ian, right? Manifestation. It's actually something your buddy Paul talks a lot about as well, right? And when you look at the title fight this weekend, you've obviously Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman, both in your weight class. Have you manifested the future in this division? Have you put that in your head?
Yeah, of course I have. I know I'm going to be a world champion at some stage. It's just a case of when. I want to be ridiculously active in this sport. I also want to be ridiculously smart in my approach. And for me, I think 3 fights a year, every year, is 4 months of growth in between every fight. And inevitably that will get me to the UFC's title fight, and where I will become a UFC world champion and then go on to be a UFC 2-weight world champion when I take the welterweight and the middleweight belts, and I'll be the king of both divisions.
Best division.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, no, 100%. You know, you got to be in there to win it, in my opinion, and I believe you've that mindset. What do you think of that main event anyway? Like, obviously, you know, it's a huge fight, massive rematch. In my opinion, it was the biggest fight and best fight of, what is it, 2 years ago now? Holy God, I don't even know what year it is. 2019. Who have you got in that, man?
I've got Usman. I don't see how Usman can be beaten this fight by Kobe. I mean, even if they both wrestle each other, I mean, I think they're both going to... I think we might see one or two bits of wrestling implemented, because I'd hope so. They're both so highly rated and they have so much respect for each other in the grappling sense that it became a kickboxing fight the last time. And I think Kamaru dominates that fight. Kobe doesn't hit hard enough to shock the world like that. He's more of a volume puncher with combinations and just pressure and pace, and that doesn't really work against Usman. He's so cool, calm, and composed, and at any time he can knock your lights out. And that's what's been brilliant with him working with Whitman, and you can see that kill shot, that power shot is there. He's worked on it, and he's the champ for a reason. And I really don't see him losing the belt by anyone. I think it's his choice when he decides to kind of retire from the sport, and he will retire a champion. I think he's that good.
I can't wait for that fight. Do you think? What do you think of Hamza Chimaev? We haven't asked you that as well. Obviously, there's a lot of talk of him after another really impressive win last weekend. Do you think he's going to be knocking on the door in the next year?
Absolutely, yeah. He's fucking insane. His skill set's unbelievable. Do
you think he's good enough to beat Kamaru though? Kamaru Usman? No. I mean, he's. Yeah, I think he's got. I think he's got the confidence. He's got. From what we've seen so far, he's got an immense grappling knowledge, and he's got power, but we can't say one right hand is power. We haven't really seen him tested against the top 10. He's now the number 10 ranked. I'd like to see him against one of the kind of veteran guys. I don't want to see him against a Chiesa or a Magny. I think those guys are gatekeepers. Yeah, I agree.
I'd like to see him against like a Masvidal, a Burns, a Luque. Like, why not go? Like, no, I don't want to see him against Diaz. He'll run through Diaz.
Yeah, I
don't
agree.
I don't want to see him against Magny. I think Magny's a gatekeeper, and I don't mean that in any disrespect, but like, he's an amazing fighter, and the same with Chiesa. I think he beats both of them with ease. I want to see him against someone he's going to beat. Do you know who we could put him up against? Wonder Boy.
Good scrap. Yeah, I agree.
Put him in there against Wonder Boy. If he beats Wonder Boy, then he fights either Luque, Burns, or Covington for a title shot.
I agree. That's a great call. There you go.
But yeah, he is. He's been in 2 fights away of a world title, I believe.
Yeah, it's the best division in martial arts at the moment, in my opinion. Look at that. Like, look at the top 10 in the welterweight division, stacked top to bottom, guys all over the place. You've guys like you coming through. It's fucking exciting times in the next 12 months. I think it's going to get better. It's unbelievable. Listen, Ian, you said 66 seconds. You want to beat Conor McGregor's record on Saturday. I think you put yourself in a pickle here. You're going to have to go out and smash it right from the get-go. What is Garry the Guru's prediction for Saturday night against Jordan Williams at MSG?
First round KO. I think he's going to... There's 2 aspects, because he's on a 2-fight skid. There's 2 aspects he can come out with. He can come out and be aggressive and try and knock me out. But when you do that, you open up gaps, because you're hunting. When you're going to hunt, you leave yourself open. You don't necessarily do it the smartest and most efficient way possible. Or he comes out and he plays it cool and calm and composed, in which I'll dominate because I'm a better fighter. I have a better skill set. I have a better understanding of movement. I'm faster. And it's what I do. I beat people. I make people want to quit. I don't know if I can make him. Well, I don't know if I can make him quit in 66 seconds, but I can certainly try to put his lights out in 66 seconds. But either way, I don't really care how long the fight lasts, where the fight goes. All that matters to me, Niall, is that I win. But I do think I'll knock him out in the first round.
Ian, I reckon there's going to be a load of Irish heads in MSG on Saturday night, guys that are living over there. I reckon it's going to be wild with tricolours. Are you getting that sort of sense? Is there any sort of feeling around New York?
I don't really know right now. I haven't really been out that much. I mean, it's so irritating that the borders are closed on Monday. I mean, if this was 3 days later and this was the 9th instead of the 6th, this place would be absolutely trampled on by Irish. And it's irritating, but at the end of the day, look, it is what it is. This fight is for me, and in any ways, this fight is I feel like is like a gift from me. Here you are, God's favourite. Well done. Congratulations on everything you've done. Go enjoy this debut. You deserve it. You've earned it.
Has the boss man spoken to you yet? Have you had a little conversation with Dana White? No?
He's not been here. I haven't spoken to him since we signed the contract. He's not been here because he had the Contender Series there the other day. So I'm imagining he'll probably fly in today. He'll be here for the weigh-ins tomorrow, and yeah, I'll get to shake his hand and tell him what's up. Tell him you made the best decision you've ever made signing me.
50 G's again, baby. On Saturday night.
50 G's, baby. Oh, it's still one of the best things I've said.
Yeah, it was brilliant. There was their cage side in Sweden as well when Conor made his debut in the bloody snowy Stockholm. But listen, I have to ask you, has there been any contact with your former team ahead of this fight? Is there anything said between you? Any good luck wishes or any sort of dialogue?
I haven't been on my phone much. I've been so busy, but to my knowledge, no. But there is a couple of guys that will always send me good luck and well wishes, and that's all I can ever ask for. Do you know what I mean?
Is it something that you're looking to repair in the future? Do you think there's any sort of way that this relationship can just be ended amicably?
I mean, I don't need to. I've done nothing wrong. So for me, it's not a sense of making up to or mending. It's a sense of, okay, my life still continues, and that's it.
Okay, fair enough. Ian, it's an absolute pleasure to speak to you. I think the country's going to wish you luck here for tomorrow night. I'm massively looking forward to the fight. I can't wait to see it. I'm going to be up all night Saturday night. Early hours of the morning. I presume you're going to walk about 1-2 o'clock. So everyone here is looking forward to it. Wishing you the best of luck, my friends. Enjoy Madison Square Garden. Enjoy the party. And I'll drop you a text after. We'll have a chat then. Appreciate it, my friend.
Appreciate it. Take care, and hey, look, it's always a pleasure speaking to you, and after we win the fight, we'll be back.
Love it, Ian. Cheers, buddy. If you want to see more videos like this, do hit the subscribe button and also the notification button so you don't miss any future updates. You can also catch us on social media and also give the video a thumbs up. It does help. Thanks, guys.